On one of the final Raws of 2020 after a hellacious, terrible Raw rating last week. We look for improvement and Raw to reset as we look forward to 2021. And let's just say we didn't get that at all, with rumors saying that this week's Raw would be more adult content, because that's what the USA Network wants. We got anything but that when we have a Christmas street fight, which not only hinted that Morrison might be turning on Miz as we roll into the new year, but Sheamus turning on Keith Lee, hinting that McIntyre versus Sheamus could happen at the Royal Rumble, with the Fiend burned alive. Yike. A brand new Alexa Bliss turns up, but it's not a moment of bliss that you'd be expecting. Also, with Charlotte's return, we finally have the use of the Raw Women's Tag Team Championships, and of course, the Hardy Bros looks like to be those #1 contenders. Well, attempting to be those #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. We are reviewing the December 21st edition of Monday Night Raw. We have a jam-packed week of wrestling. So let's get started. So Raw this week was not the best, not the worst, but let's just say interesting. We start off with Charlotte and Asuka, and Charlotte's so excited to be entering the Thunderdome for the first time. She's entering as champion, of course, because that's what Charlotte is. She comes to the aid of Asuka, who needed a friend, and she's so excited to be She's so excited to be a women's tag team champion. Shane and Nia come out and say, well, you know, Santa might have a naughty or nice list, but we give out beatings and we're looking to get our titles back. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke then come out, also wanting a shot at the gold. This creates an impromptu matchup between both teams. And although Shane and Nia got the win here, Asuka and Charlotte on commentary was just gold. Now, I must admit, I am not a fan, if you saw my TLC review yesterday, I'm not a fan of the Raw Women's Champion having the tag team titles, but if this is going to help elevate the tag titles, then I am all for it, especially because later on in the night, we saw Charlotte and Asuka wrestle Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce in it wasn't a title match, it was just, just a match. And if we're going to use the tag titles, I am all for it. But I'm very intrigued to see who they're wrestling this Friday on SmackDown, because they have not announced an opponent, but I can assume it's the Riot Squad. But this is very good. I liked it. Way to go. With our now keeping on topic of a tag team champion here, moving on to the Raw tag team champions, the Hurt Business is finally having the gold. Cedric Alexander in this role is so good. He's very much cementing himself as a top heel. In the promo, he talks about how he's worked so hard for it. He finally has it. No one can touch them. They're the Hurt Business. Whoopie-doo. The Hardy Bros, however, are they really going to put the tag titles on the Hardy Bros? I'm not the biggest fan of Matt Riddle. Again, not being biased because Rollins hates him. But I'm a little torn here. I feel like Hardy doesn't necessarily need the tag titles, as he's like a million-time tag team champion. So I'm kind of intrigued, but as I also said on my TLC review, I am kind of intrigued to see who would possibly lose to the Hurt Business, because right now there are no tag teams on Raw. So I'm guessing if you're just going to put these impromptu teams together to maybe be a threat, you could do that. I mean, I also want the Hurt Business to have a very long tag team title reign. I don't want it to be 0.2 seconds. So, yeah. And they worked well together, Matt and Jeff, which sounds super weird because I'm not talking about Matt Hardy. I'm talking about Matt Riddle. They worked well together. This was okay. The match was good. Bobby, it wasn't against Alexander Bedouin. It was against MVP and Lashley. And, Lashley went with the Hurt Lock, so I guess we're just I'll take Riddle versus Lashley for the U.S. title too, just as long as you're using these championships, because I feel like every title but the WWE Championship is being buried on Raw. But before we get to our WWE Champion, I'm going to start with this new Alexa Bliss. Oh my gosh, this was crazy! So, if you don't know, the Fiend kind of died. He got buried. I don't know why I keep saying buried alive. Sorry, Taker. He got burned alive. Orton comes out saying that he couldn't sleep last night. The voices in his head just couldn't stop remembering the fact that he burned Bray alive. The Fiend is dead. The lights go out and it looks like the Fiend's coming back, but Alexa Bliss comes with a swing set, and instead of the Fiend's playground, it's Alexa's playground, saying that she knows where the Fiend is. The Fiend has returned back home, and if the Fiend returns, it's going to be nothing like Orton has seen before. Now, this is very interesting. Like, I don't know if I kept this in here because I had to cut a 43-minute video to match a 15-minute window, but something I did say is I think that you should keep the Fiend off TV until a WrestleMania. Kind of have that thing that Orton had with Taker when Orton burned Taker alive, and then Taker just appeared out of nowhere at Survivor Series, and that led to another match at another pay-per-view. I think that would be awesome if you did the same thing. But you need to keep the Fiend off for a while, have Orton focus on, you can have Alexa keep on teasing it, but have Orton move on to other things, maybe have him wrestle Drew again, maybe Lashley, I don't know. But have Orton focus on other things, and then, oh my god, the Fiend's back! But it's a new Fiend, because the Fiend kinda died. Or you could just have the Firefly Funhouse version of Bray, do whatever, but that is something I would love to see. Now moving on to some turns, because I believe that Morrison and The Miz are about to split up. Now, I did not realize this until Raw aired, but Morrison was the one to cash in the briefcase. It wasn't The Miz. So I'm hoping that that means that The Miz is going to get his briefcase back because he deserves it. But you could see as soon as in the Miz TV segment, you could see as soon as AJ said that, Miz's face got so mad. I feel like they've been teasing it. They teased it all last night too. Like when Miz was on the phone with the representative from the USA Network or WWE or whoever he was on the phone with, Morrison's like, "Come on, let's go." So it would be very interesting to see if that is going to be the turn. I would love to see that match at WrestleMania 37. Maybe turn on him at the Rumble. Ooh, it would be crazy. But basically, Miz TV, AJ comes out, Miz apologizes and says, like, I worked so hard for the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's been 10 years since I got a title opportunity. I made it to WrestleMania, and now I screwed it over. I'm so sorry. And AJ's like, but Morrison was the one who cashed in. And, they're all trying to get on the same page. And then McIntyre and Lee and Sheamus come out, and they did like a rendition of like the Nightmare after TLC, which was kind of funny, and then it led to a whole brawl. And then Sheamus accidentally hits Keith Lee, which is why I think Sheamus is also going to turn on Drew soon. I don't know when. But when you go into the 6-man tag for the Christmas Street Fight or whatever they called it, at the end, when Drew, Sheamus, and Lee won and they were celebrating, you saw the whole tension with like Sheamus and Keith Lee hitting each other like, good job, good job, good job. And then Sheamus hits Keith Lee, and then Drew and Sheamus were arguing. So this is a match I've said a bunch of times since like Sheamus has entered this like friendship with Drew that I do want to see it at Royal Rumble. I wouldn't mind seeing it at Chamber or Fastlane or whatever that pay-per-view is going to be between Mania and Rumble and Mania, because they change it every year. But I'm intrigued to see these heel turns. I think turning Miz face would be the smartest thing to do here, because Miz has been heel for a really long time. So maybe having a Morrison heel would be something to do, and then having a Sheamus heel do that, and then that go into 2021. But yeah, Raw was okay. It wasn't the best thing. I mean, for everyone hyping it up after like the 1.5 million views, and then to get nothing changed. So I don't know if maybe like 2021 is going to be all the adultish content, or maybe like it was just a made up rumor or whatever. But it wasn't the best episode. It wasn't the worst. It was okay. Hopefully they do something really good next week. And then we're leading into the Legends episode of Raw. Don't know why they're doing that, but it should be a fun time. That was my Raw review. Make sure if you didn't look at my TLC review, I had my best friend Skylar on with me. We filmed kind of late, which is why I posted during Raw, so make sure to check that out, and also make sure to check out me and Izzy's predictions to see if we were right, which we weren't. And also make sure to check out her TLC review with WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray. We have a jam-packed week this week. Of course, tomorrow I'll be here with your Impact review. Thursday I'll be here with your Dynamite review, And then Friday night, depending, because my neighbor is coming over because we do celebrate Christmas together, I might do like a what I got for Christmas video because I'm getting a lot of wrestling stuff. So woohoo! And then Saturday we'll be here for your SmackDown review, and then we're into 2021. People get hyped. Make sure to like this video, comment what you thought of Monday Night Raw, click that bell for notifications, and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_WWE and on Instagram at Kimmy Talks Wrestling. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Impact Review. Let's do this thing. Bye, guys.